cemetery, which is right where we went. We went smack to the cemetery. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've been there.
that's not dark.
I don't know if you've been there, right? To me, the cemetery is beautiful. It's beautiful. The cemetery is a beautiful place. Especially the one over in MLK. I don't know if you've been to the one in MLK. It's huge. There's actually a pirate that is buried there. One of the few pirates that are actual pirates that actually is buried there, right? So we go there and we're like, all these people, right? Their dreams, maybe they died with them, maybe they didn't. Maybe those people actually did vibrate into their energy. But if we don't vibrate and resonate with where we are going instead of in our departure point, it will be nothing but a wish. And there's some principles that we're gonna share, right? We don't have at our command the time to give you the entire piece. It just takes way too long. We're gonna share with you today, right, the 10 steps. We're gonna give you the belief piece of that whole system, right? And the belief piece of the whole system, because our beliefs drive what? Our beliefs drive our actions, right? People will not move in any direction as far as actions other than the directions of their beliefs, right? Your belief, no matter what it is that you believe, that is the direction. And it's not what you say you believe, right? How many of you, maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're a manager, maybe you're an executive, and maybe you've interviewed people before, and they will tell you things, right? They will tell you things, but then you hire them and they act in a different manner. Why? Because that's not actually who they were, not actually what they believed, right? Not what they believed. So it's so important. It's so important. Kelly, it's good to see you. I just realized that you're there. That's awesome. How awesome it is to see you. Wow. It's great to see you. I'm Barry, by the way. We didn't meet. Oh, good to meet you. Good to meet you, Rowan. Yes, good to meet you. So it's so important to get the vibration, not from your current circumstances and facts. Oh, that's just the way things are. I've got 4 kids to feed. Here's Dan. I've got 4 kids to feed. I've got to do this. That's your current circumstance. Yes, you have to take care of that. But let's not let our vibration, what happens if we let our vibration get locked into that? Then it's just a cycle, cycle, and cycle, and cycle. Then you start making agreements with your departure point commitments. Right? You start making agreements with your departure point commitments, and you end up staying in that cycle. And all the while, time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking. It's the rest of it into the future, right? Keeps on ticking, and it doesn't stop until we go to the cemetery. That's where we're headed. And the question is, what are we doing to maximize the time that we have now? Right, to maximize that time. You know, I grew up on Harwood Drive in East Point, Georgia. It's in South Atlanta. And East Point, I love East Point, I love Atlanta, Georgia, and it's an awesome place. I grew up in a little house. I didn't know any better, right? I thought this was an awesome house. It's great, 1,100 square feet, one bathroom. My mother and my grandmother raised me, and they taught me about abundance. You know, you look around, you see everything's abundant, but we didn't know about prosperity, right? I didn't know anything about prosperity. My grandfather was rich. He would come over and I'm like, oh, well, he's rich. That's great. But that didn't mean anything to me, right? My uncle was as well. But the prosperity consciousness never did really register in my mind. That was just really our learning model. It was my learning model. I was an only child. And that was my learning model. And really everything that we do is in a learning model. Every single thing that we do. If it's how we treat each other, how we talk, how we tie our shoes, brush our teeth, how we work, how we study, how we play, whatever the case may be, right? It's a learning model, right? Let's flip over to that one action piece. How many of us can do this, right? How many of us can do that? Maybe some can't, maybe some can. But now, would you agree that there was a time that you could not do that?
Sure.
Right? There was a time you could not do that. And you're like, suddenly you became aware, right? Maybe it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, maybe older, whatever. And you become aware. Oh, you become aware of a thing called bicycles. And then you become aware, oh, bicycles are really kind of cool. And then you become aware of your desire to ride a bicycle. Right? Well, I kind of would like to ride a bicycle. That'd be kind of neat. And then you're like, ooh. well, how do I do that? I got to get on the bicycle and I got to ride it so I don't fall and break my teeth, right? So then you're like, uh-oh, I don't really know if I can if I can do that. So then you ask an uncle, a mom, maybe it's a dad, maybe it's a cousin, whomever it is, and they come over to you, and today we call them coaches, right? We call them mentors, we call them trainers, but they would come over to you, and they were operating a different level of awareness because they understood. Right? They understood. And they're like, well, come on, we'll just get on the bicycle. They put you on the bicycle, and they took the back of the seat, and they grabbed the handlebars in the front. And they're like, okay, well, all it takes is balance. And if you ask a 5 or 6 or 7 or 8-year-old with balance, well, I've got balance, right? I can put an egg on my head. I can put a glass of water on my head, maybe. And I got balance. I can even stand on one leg. Look at this. It's awesome. I've got balance down pat. But, oh no, it's different kind of balance. So the mom, the dad, the uncle, whatever the case, they're like, well, you're going to go faster, go faster, faster. You can't be still, go faster, 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 because they knew the principle of gyroscopics. They probably didn't understand that, but they knew that if you go faster, you're going to maintain balance in a different way. And every single thing, every ounce inside Mary or Bobby or whomever it was on that bicycle, when we were as little kids, everything is saying, no, 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 I'm going to fall. But that mentor, that coach said, well, no, you just keep on going. And we learn how to ride the bicycle, right? We learn how to ride the bicycle, and it becomes a successful learning model. So we go from a learning model of failure to a learning model of achievement, at least as far as riding bicycles. And when you know it for bicycles, you can apply that, and it has muscle dexterity and every other piece, every other principle inside that model, that model of achievement can be applied to whatever else. Maybe it's applied to skateboards, maybe it's applied to, I don't know, unicycles, right? Whatever the case. I don't know, how many of you can do this? Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, does this take balance? Yeah. Does that take hand-eye coordination? Does that take muscle dexterity? You see, in the learning model of achievement, the learning model of achievement has 3 pillars of success. There's 3 pillars of success. Number 1, you have awareness. The awareness, right, is really, really key. That's the first step. The second step is belief. The third pillar are the principles of the model, the principles of the model. And that's in order to get from here to there, right? So what's missing here? We know we're aware of it. We're like, okay, we're aware of high wires, and people do that, and maybe some daredevils would do that. We're aware that it takes balance. We're aware of some of the principles in the model. We just don't believe that we can do it. Don't believe that we can do it. Now, there's a lot of facets to that, right? So you have to have the 3 pieces inside that model, inside the model. Again, when we're little, we have learning models of achievement, learning models of failure. When we're little, I don't know. I'm gonna pick on, I think, Peach-Eye for a minute. So Peach-Eye, let me see. Stand up for a minute. Stand up for a minute, Peach-Eye. Stand up.
Okay.
You're wearing pants. I'm wearing pants too. Okay, we're both wearing pants. Now, when you're 4 or 5 years old, you can sit down now.
Okay.
Well, when you're 4, I just want to make sure you're wearing pants. Okay, so the thing is, when we're 4 or 5 years old, when Peach-Eye's 4 or 5 years old, right? Maybe it's 3, maybe he was a fast learner or whatever, and you're like, are you right leg or left leg?
Right.
Your right leg. You ever thought about why your right leg?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you why, and it's your mother's like, put on your pants, Peach-Eye,
Yeah.
right? And you go left leg, and she's go, no, go, oh, okay, right leg, and boop. And suddenly right leg. Well, I'm left leg. So what happened to me was just the opposite, right? So when Peach-Eye goes and puts on his pants now, right? And he tries to go left leg in. He's going to be like, this, like this, right? And if I try to do right leg, I'm going to be like the same way, right? Because it's how we learned how to do that before we even had a chance to reason, right? Before we even had a chance to reason. So our beliefs are formed a couple of different ways. Number one is that way. Emotional sudden impact, right? Emotional sudden impact. When you have something happen to you emotionally, maybe an event in your life, whatever it is, maybe your mom or dad telling you to put your pants on the other leg, whatever it might be, that's one of the ways that our beliefs are created. That's one of the ways, right? And you can, it's kind of sad really when you go into a restaurant, maybe you see a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old girl. She spills her milk on the table. The mom and dad, they're like, "You're so clumsy." What's the dominant idea there? Yes, that she's clumsy. Boop. There goes another piece of that learning model. So many things that maybe we don't even know have happened that are causing us. And I can tell you right now that we can still believe a lie, right? And it's when before we're able to reason, we believe in Santa Claus. Well, I still believe in Santa Claus, so don't tell me any differently. We can believe in Santa Claus, we believe in the Tooth Fairy, whatever the case, because our minds can't reason. We can reason now, but our minds can't reason at that point, right? So we believe whatever it is that's told to us, and that forms part of our belief system. And again, our programming, we're all perfect, but we're programmed to fail, at least in certain areas. Right? At least in certain areas. That's why so many times we feel that it's a struggle to get from here to there. Sometimes we find that it's a struggle to resonate in that same frequency of vibration from here over here, when we need to be resonating with that frequency of vibration over here. What does the acorn do? What does the acorn do? It sits in the ground. It does one thing. It has one purpose. What is that purpose? An oak tree. That's all it knows. That is the only thing that it knows. And it is vibrating into that oak tree. That's where all its energy of vibration is going to. That's where it's all coming from. If it just sat there with its existing circumstances and its departure point, it would be, oh my goodness, I need water, I'm going to dry up. I'm going to dry up, I need water, I'm going to dry up. And that's all it would do. But that's not the way it's made. That's not in its DNA, if you will, right? And so it is vibrating on the acorn. I have one plan, and this is what I'm going to do. I will challenge you today, and you also have a plan. You also have a dream. You also have an arrival point that has yet to be realized. That has yet to be realized. And some of these 10 things might resonate with you. But our programming, our beliefs, they're held together in the learning model. And it is so important. I just kind of went deep with you on learning models a little bit. So we'll come away from that for a second. But just suffice it to know that there are obviously, and we probably already know this, and that is there are learning models of achievement. There's learning models of failure. And we almost always start with the learning models of failure and then move into the learning models of achievement. So let's cover these 10 pieces, and I promise you that at the end we'll present the full system that we have that these 10 steps are part of the full system, right? And these 10 steps are going to be just a tool. They're just going to, each one of them is going to be a strategy, and yet collectively, they're part of the entire system. So let me get over to where I'm supposed to be, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So I've already covered a lot of the material. So this one piece is going to be belief. The whole module, and really we break down, we take the 12 principles, and I mentioned that we spend 5 days twice a year in Orlando with 2,000 to 3,000 other very, very high achievers, and we've distilled out a whole system, but we've also distilled out these 10 principles, and in addition 12 full modules. And these 12 full modules, this one would be the one on belief, but in the system in empowerment mentoring, we actually unpack every single one of those modules, and we take one every single month and unpack that, find out where you are with that, and then we apply that. Right? So we'll share that at the end. But step one for 10 steps to creating a new belief and beginning to reclaim your fire. Just a second with me. Thank you, Dana, for the water. Appreciate that. So here's the first one, and you can probably guess what this is. And here's the danger, right? Here's the danger. Oh, I've heard that before. Of course we have. Of course we have. I thought the same thing. And then I thought this. And I thought, okay, well, how's that working out for me? What am I doing with that? Right? What results have I gotten just because I know it, and that's awareness, right? Do I believe that if I apply that I'm actually going to get results? Because if I don't, it just becomes something nice to sit on the shelf and, oh, I've heard that, that's really nice. That's awesome. Then I don't take action. Until I take action, it doesn't work. So the first step is you've got to have a desire. And it's not just any desire, it is a burning desire. When you have a burning desire, and this pulls from many different places, many different religions, many different sects, all have this piece, right? And that is desire. If you do not have a burning desire and it becomes an obsession, a burning obsession, you will never reach that goal. But if you do, that is the beginning part of reaching that goal. So you have to have an all-consuming, and you fall in love with that. And really, the word desire, right? We sire a horse. Desire comes from birth. Birth is a messy process, right? It's not a neat, boxed up thing. Having a desire is also a messy process. We're giving birth to an idea. We're holding that idea as our progeny, as our child inside of us, and we love that idea. And if it is a burning desire, we will fall in such love with that we will not let anything happen to it. That will become an all-consuming obsession with our lives. With our lives. You talk to whomever it is. I don't care who it is. Maybe it's Jeff Bezos. We'll talk about him in a minute. Maybe it's Elon Musk. You know, you think about it. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. Maybe I'll hold on to that. I'll hold on to that for a second. Step number 2, even though you have a desire, that's not enough. You have a burning desire. But step number 2, and you can guess what this is. You can guess what this is. I think we have another thing coming up. Do we have another thing coming up? There it is. Boom. When you see it, you've got to take action. You've got to take action, and not just any action, but massive action. You have to take massive action. You know, there's something funny, we've all done this. Tell me we haven't. Right? Tell me we haven't. You have an idea, and you've got this thing, and it's like, okay, it's great, and then one night, but you never act on it, right? At least I've done this. Maybe you have. Maybe you've acted on all your ideas, right? I don't know. But this has happened to me, maybe it's happened to you. And I'm sitting in front of the TV, and actually, I like the special ice cream, and it's just really bad for you, and I love this stuff. And I'm sitting there eating it, right, and I'm eating this ice cream, and on the TV at 2 o'clock in the morning comes the infomercial for the Shredo thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, that was my idea, and they're making millions of dollars on this, you know they are, and that was my idea. I had the idea for the twisty twirly hair thingy. That was my idea. That was my idea. Oh, they stole my idea. They didn't steal my idea. They didn't steal your idea. They did your idea. They did it. Taking massive action. Massive action is so important. And when we have an idea, it starts as an idea and a thought. How do you think this chair started? How do you think that projector started? How do you think this jacket started, right? I mean, every single thing.
That's a complex question.
Thank you. I have a complex wearing it. So the thing is, every single thing, everything that you're wearing, that awesome watch that you have on, every single thing started with an idea. And the idea or thought is energy, yes or no? Yes. Every idea is thought, right? And when you put massive action behind that thought, behind that desire, right? Because we can increase in every piece of energy, we can increase the amplitude of that energy. We can increase the vibration of that. We can increase it or we can decrease it. And the one way that we increase the energy is through massive action. When you take action on your belief, and you take action on your desire, and you take action on that idea, it anchors it inside of you. It anchors it when you take massive, massive action. This is what we tell people in our program in empowerment mentoring. One of the things that we do is we say, okay, well, double your income this year. You got it, whatever you make. Whatever it is, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, whatever it might be. Now go ahead and double your income, right? And the first thing people say, oh no, I can't do that. And for some reason, when it comes to money, right, we're like, oh no, I can't do that, right? But then they start to take action. They start to take that massive action in moving in that direction, and they find out that it's not that difficult once they start moving through the inertia and actually capture that and actually move on what it is that they want. But you first have to have the desire. The second thing is that you have to act. And then the third thing, not just act, but take massive action. And the third thing, would it be helpful if we share these slides? We'd share these slides afterwards so that, that way you don't have to write down a bunch of notes. But we'll share the slides with you after that. Remind me, Dan.
To our email?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll send it to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Just make sure I have your email address afterwards. I think I do, but just in case.
Yeah, which will be good. So, the step number 3 is we have found that achievers find their yes. They find their yes. The world is programmed to say no, right? If you're in sales, how many of us are in sales? Right? There's a lot of salespeople here, and actually everybody's in sales when you think about it, even operations people. How many times have you had to sell an idea, right? An idea, whether it's to your team. I'm picking on Irene because she's an awesome chief of operations. She's amazing.
Actually, she's half artificial intelligence.
I know, she's half AI. It's amazing. The creativity and the power behind that mind is amazing to me. I feel infinitesimal in the room with her. But when you think about that, the world is programmed to say no. Whether you're selling something to your team, whether you're selling something to a customer, no matter what. And today's sale is different, right? It's a different sale. It's a softer sale, if you will. It's a solution selling. It's a spin selling. But still, at the end of the piece, sometimes that's worse because you've invested all this time, and then, okay, 3, 4, 5 months later, you've invested all this time, they still say no. They're programmed to say no. Successful people, those who are going to achieve, those who are going to move from their current departure point to their arrival point. They find their yes. They find the yes people. They find the yes conditions. They find the yes circumstances in all cases. And they do not take no for an answer. They're not overly impressed with the no's that they get. They're not disturbed by the no. They're anticipating that probably this person will say no, but they're looking for it. Focused not on that, they're focused on the yes, and they're finding the yes people, the yes conditions, and the yes circumstances, no matter what it is. Everybody has a pet, right? Everybody has a pet. Nisi is an awesome pet person. What is the name of your company?
Macy's House and Pet Sitting.
Oh, awesome. That's great. That's awesome. And so Nisi, when she goes out, she has to find, if she's going to be successful, she has to find her yes. Finding the yes people, the yes circumstances, the yes conditions. The same way that Jeff Bezos did when he started Amazon. The same way that Elon Musk did when he started Tesla, and when he has done so many other great things as well. No matter who it is, they had to find their yes. How many times did we hear the word no, right? How many times did Peach-Eye and I hear the word no when we were young? All of us. No, Peach-Eye, no. Parents can very seldom use the